Just waiting a little, just a little. 15, 20 more seconds, we get started. Okay. Hello. So let's get started. Others will join once they are ready. So who is a virtual assistant? First of all, once more, you're welcome to this training, freelancing slash virtual assistant class. So in this module, we are going to be learning what is virtual assistant. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, let me know. What is virtual assistant? We're going to be learning what is virtual assistant, evolution and importance of virtual assistants for today, common industry and tax where virtual assistants are used. Another short form, another word for virtual assistant is VA. When you hear VA, know that I'm referring to virtual assistant. Pro and cons of being a virtual assistant and virtual assistant skills. So this is the model of what we are going to be doing today. So let's look at this. What is virtual assistant? So a virtual assistant is a skilled professional who provides a wide range of administrative, creative, technical, or personal support services to clients remotely. Virtual assistants operate as an independent contractors or freelancers. Let me explain this. So when we talk about administrative, creative, technical, or personal support services, what it means is that if you can recall, you heard some people say they have assistant. I'm an assistant to the let's say to the minister of office. I'm an assistant to the president, special assistant to the president, special assistant to the let's say to the first lady. You will hear a lot of people say they are special assistant to this, to this, to that. Now, when you someone says I'm a special assistant to the minister of works, okay, let's say minister of power, what comes to your mind? I just want you guys to understand this scenario, how virtual assistant came about, or what virtual assistant is all about. Because when you hear the word virtual assistant, you may be like confused. What is this all about? Of course, when you know the word, when you see virtual, you should know that it's something online. Okay, so now the special assistant to the minister of power, what do you think that person will be doing? Now I want you guys to understand that whatever you are, whoever you are assisting, what the person does depends on what you will be doing. Let me say I assist the minister of power. Now I could let's say I could be assisting him or helping him, let's say zones, or helping him with data entry about zones that, let's say, probably they require more power so they can channel or distribute more electricity to that zone. Or let me say I'm a special assistant to the first lady, that's the wife of a president. I'm a special assistant to the first lady, the wife of the president. So what I'll be doing actually will be helping the first, like, most first ladies, what they do is like organize programs for the women, the widow, and all of that. So I could be helping the lady manage the first lady manage her calendar. I could be helping her schedule appointments that she has, making sure that she does this and does that. So what I'm trying to explain is that whatever kind of job you are going to be doing as a virtual assistant, it's all bent on what your client does. Do you guys understand me? Do we get this? If you understand me, please, I just want to see, just type virtual assistant or VA on the comment section so that I know that you understand me. Okay, so I'm trying to use a physical situation to explain to you why I take it to the virtual situation. So bear in mind that as a virtual assistant, whatever your client does is in relation to what you will be doing. Okay. Okay, I can see some comments. So I'm glad you guys understand. So it is relation to what you'll be doing. So look at the definition again. A virtual assistant is a professional who provides wide range of administrative means it could be like helping your client arrange his files, helping your client manage his files. That's the administrative. Okay, admin. It could be that you could be handling enquiries for your client. Now when we talk about creative range of administrative, creative could be your client could be, let's say your client could be let's say someone into the media industry. You could be helping them, let's say a social media, someone that has business online, or someone that runs an e-commerce shops. So creative could be, you could be helping these clients create videos, create designs, create using Canva, using different tools to create graphic designs or video, or edit videos for the person. That's the creative, creating something. So that's another thing you could be doing. Then technical, can you guys see my screen? Please, you can read along with me. If it's too tiny, you let me know. Can you see my screen? Can you read what is on the screen? If you can't see it, let me know. Okay, I'm trying to embolden it. So creative, I'm just trying to explain this. Remember the definition, read this and understand where I'm coming from. So technical here could be that, for instance, bear in mind that sometimes as a virtual assistant, you could be handling some technical side of it. For example, you could have a website on WordPress. It could be that you have a skill, you have a knowledge about WordPress. Do you guys know what WordPress is? WordPress is just like an open source where people come and more of website design. It's for designing website, not development, designing. Okay, so it could be that you have to manage the back end of that WordPress website, just updating it. For example, I had a WordPress website before where I created it myself. I was selling data and airtime and all of that. So for instance, and I also worked with someone like that before. So I was majorly in charge of updating the website from the back end when we run out of airtime, or when we need to load some pin, like credit card pin for calls. We load it from the back end so that people can come online and buy. So it could be that your client it's in that aspect, or needs your services in that technical aspect, then you contribute or you support technically. Okay, or it could be personal support services to clients remotely. For example, your client could be having could be an online tutor or a lecturer, and he wants you to just help organize the classes, just help him take queries and all of that. Just personal support. Just think of anything you can do for a client. Okay, so what all of this means is that you are basically offering your services to your client, and your services most times toe the line of your client. Do we get that? So a virtual assistant is a skilled professional who provides a wide range of administrative, creative, technical, or personal support services to clients remotely. Now note the word remotely. With the example that I gave before, the first lady, when you're assisting the first lady, you could be physical, you're assisting the first lady physically, okay? But in this aspect, you are doing it remotely, means that you are not seeing your client physically. Do you guys understand that? You are not seeing your client physically. That is what it means in this aspect. Okay, so in this aspect, you are doing it virtually. That is why you are a virtual assistant. There's personal assistants that could be even you can also be a personal assistant remotely, but the term for you is virtual assistant because you are not seeing this person physically. Both of you are not in the same office or whatsoever. Okay, I know you'll be wondering, I am not in the same location with this person, how then do I assist the person? Calm down, we are getting to that. But just know that what connects you and your client is simply software applications. Are you guys with me? Just software applications connects you and your client. Okay, now let's continue what we are reading. So here now it says services to clients remotely. VAs, remember that I say VAs, I mean virtual assistants. VAs operate as independent contractors or freelancers, offering their expertise and assistance on flexible basis. So what this means is that you can be a virtual assistant full-time. You can be a virtual assistant freelancing or on contract basis. I'll explain this. Now, someone could be a writer and he comes online and he needs someone to assist him for a period of time that he or she is writing that book. Maybe you could be an editor, a virtual assistant with skills in editing and all of that, or you could help the person, manage the sales of the book for some period of time until the person that particular project is over. Okay, so this could be, you could be a contractor in this aspect. They're just contracting you for some period of time to help them manage things while a particular project is on. Now, freelancing means you're a freelancer, you are not employed. Nobody has employed you full time. A full employee or a confirmed employee of a company could have access to healthcare system, free healthcare services, allowance, leave allowance and all of that, pay and leave allowance, and all of that. But you as a freelancer, you are not a full employee of a company. A company did not employ you fully. You are just a freelancer. Now, the job, what you do as a virtual assistant, if you are freelancing as a virtual assistant, you may have the opportunity to work for different clients. You could have like 4 clients at a go. So long as you can manage them, you could be helping them at a go. But you are a freelancer, you are not a full employee. Like, you're not an official employee, you are just on the side, a freelancer. You are freelancing for them. You are taking their job and doing it at a time, your own time. You're not a full-time worker. Now, so you can be a virtual assistant as an independent contractor or freelancer offering your assistance or whatsoever. Then you can also be a virtual assistant and you are a full-time employee. Okay, so virtual assistant, there are some people that are full-time employees. Some people, even some freelancers, work for a very long time with some people and they are still there working. Why some people will bring you in as a full-time employee. You have access to healthcare services, free healthcare services, vacation allowance and all of that. So that is the difference. So you can be operating as a virtual assistant and you're a freelancer and you're a full-time employee. It all depends on the kind of job or the contract that you get. Now, when we talk about freelancers, most times freelancers, sorry guys, most times freelancers sign up on different platforms like Upwork. Those jobs they get there, some are freelancing jobs. Okay, some jobs you get from Upwork, Fiverr and all of those platforms, they are freelancing jobs. Some people, some people can graduate from freelancers to become full employees of a company. I've had some people that were invited over to where their client stays or bases in order to work for them overseas or abroad, to work for them as a freelancer. I'm coming as a freelancer. Okay, so it all depends on what your client or what kind of freelancing that you want to do. Now, some jobs that you get via LinkedIn are full-time employees. So LinkedIn, I hope we all know about LinkedIn. Do we know about LinkedIn? Are full-time jobs. LinkedIn are full-time virtual assistant jobs. Platform like LinkedIn, Indeed.com, most times you're a full-time worker with those companies. Okay, I hope you understand that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So they communicate with clients through digital channels. Okay, you guys remember where we are. They communicate with clients through digital channels, enabling them to carry out tasks and responsibilities without being physically present at the client's location. A virtual assistant is a skilled professional. Let me read all together now. A virtual assistant is a skilled professional who provides a wide range of administrative, creative, technical, or personal support services to clients remotely. Okay, VAs operate as independent contractors or freelancers, offering their expertise and assistance on flexible basis. They communicate with clients through digital channels, enabling them to carry out tasks and responsibilities without being physically present in the client's location. So what this means is that, I've explained this before, what this means that you are not required to be there. What connects you and your client is software applications. So the basis of this whole training is to learn those software applications that will connect you, that will enable you to work with your client. Now, another thing you have to understand is that there are so many niches of in virtual assistant, in the world of virtual assistant. You can choose to specialize in one this niche or the other niche. You can choose to specialize in property management niche. You can choose to specialize in any other niche that you want. But we are still going to visit some of the niches in virtual assisting. Okay, so that's basically the explanation here of who a virtual assistant is. Do we understand? If you have a question, you can drop. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's look at the evaluation and importance of virtual assistants. The evaluation of virtual as evolution, sorry, the evolution of virtual assistants and evolution and importance of virtual assistants. The evolution of virtual assistants refers to the historical development and transformation of remote work practices. Over time, advancements in technology, increased internet connectivity, and changing work preferences have led to the rise of virtual assistants. Let me see if I can increase. I wasn't saying so well before. So what this means is that you guys can remember what led to the emergence of virtual assistants. Virtual assistants perform duties that normally people in the office can do for you. Just like people that are in a physical office, your client could need a file to be arranged or something to be entered, a data to be entered. If you go to that, excuse me, guys, I'm with my children, so they're kind of distracting me a bit. Go to daddy. So it could be that your client needs something to be entered, the data to be entered into a spreadsheet when you are working physically. But in this aspect, a lot of things have come in place, a lot of things have changed. From the pandemic, the whole thing gave birth and to working remotely. It kind of made it more pronounced. Before, people work remotely, but it wasn't a culture before. But now it's like a culture, because people during the pandemic, people really understood, oh, there are some office taxes that can be done remotely. You don't need to be in the office. When we talk about the word remote, according to the dictionary, remote is just something that is situated away from the center of population. So when we talk about working remotely, it means you are not working from the office. You are working from any location you are. That is what the word remotely means. So the pandemic gave birth to working to remote job, okay, to people working remotely. So during the pandemic, people found out, oh, there's some tasks that can be done remotely. I don't need to be there and all of that. We don't need to be in the office and all of that for it to be done. So this gave birth to this kind of work situation. The pandemic and every other thing, people's preferences changed and all of that, and it gave back to this kind of remote working. So their importance lies in the ability to offer businesses and individuals efficient support without the need for physical proximity. VAs have become essential contributors to modern work structures, allowing for flexible and efficient operations. Common industry and tasks where VAs are used are utilized in various industries to perform a wide array of tasks. This can include, now we're looking at the industries that VAs are used to perform some tasks and all of that. This can include administrative tasks such as scheduling appointments. Like I gave example, the first lady, the personal assistant could be helping her schedule appointments, letting her know when she's supposed to be somewhere else, and also like creating a meeting between her and someone else. In this aspect, it doesn't need to be physical. The VA can do it from her own location or whatsoever using some softwares or some tools. Okay, like scheduling appointments, managing emails, creative tasks such as content curation, graphic design, technical tasks such as website maintenance and data entry, and personal tasks such as travel planning, personal correspondence. Industries ranging from entrepreneurship and small businesses to large corporations and non-profit organizations benefit from the services of virtual assistants. Okay, so you guys can see what this is all about, the kind of tasks they perform and all of that. So let's move over to the next slide. So now, as sweet as this thing sounds, as nice as it looks, that you can work from anywhere, you can support clients from anywhere you are, what are the pros and cons of being a virtual assistant? Now let us look at the pros. Number one is flexibility. Can you guys see my screen? If you know you can see my screen, let me know, please. I'm interested in knowing if you guys can actually see my screen. Number one is flexibility. One of the advantages of working as a virtual assistant is flexibility. VAs can set their own schedules and work from anywhere. Like I said, if you're a freelancer, you can work from anywhere, set your own schedules, tell this client, this is the time, I can work from this time to this time. You can even have up to 4 clients so long as you can manage them. And that's one of the good things about it. You are flexible. You are not just like some companies. You know that most times when you're working with a company, when you go through the onboarding process and everything, you sign the document, you are not allowed to have another job or something like that. But in this aspect, you are free to have as many jobs as you want. That is part of this flexibility. Number two is diverse tasks. Excuse me. Though it's not so bold. Okay, you can see the screen, but it's not so bold. Okay. Now I hope it's bold now. I have just enlarged the screen. Okay. So we're talking about diverse tasks. Number two is diverse task. Let me tell you guys, being a virtual assistant, you must be smart. Like you must be a tech savvy. You must be able to learn how to use different tools. Like I told you guys, you could have a client who is into the creative part type of job, and you could have the task of creating graphic designs, editing videos, and all of that. Your next client could be someone in the technical aspect. You could have the duty of creating of maintaining websites, or maintaining WordPress and all of that. So you need to be, a tech savvy. You'll be exposed to using the use of various tools, tax and different types of industries. Okay, if your client is the type that has properties, you are going through the property management lines, and you certainly learn how to use the different property management softwares. Okay, now number three is autonomy. You have the ability to work independently and make decisions. Now you are the one working independently. You are your own. You are working. You make your decisions, not in a physical office that you are not independent. People make the HRs and everyone make decisions. They come into the office. Oh, now everybody, we are going to be wearing red today. Tomorrow you are going to be wearing green. All of that. Nobody does that for you. You are totally independent. Okay. Now number four advantage of being a virtual assistant is location independent. No need to commute or relocate to work. If you're in this part of the world, I'm a Nigerian and I live in Nigeria. Right now, the cost of transportation is really, really something else. It's like triple of what it used to be before. So you could imagine being a virtual assistant, what it has saved you. It has saved you the cost of transportation. You don't need to start thinking, how do I commute to work? Because now a lot of people that have cars, they kind of had to, let go of their cars or park it for the meantime because of the cost of fuel, of petrol and all of that, and also transportation. They just had to, park and all of that. Most persons that are looking for jobs, that their offices are closer to them, that have offices that are closer to them, unlike those that are very far. So you could see being a virtual assistant, or you work remotely, it will help you in this aspect. You don't need to spend money for transportation, or think of what clothes do I wear, because another thing that takes people's money or salaries is fashion. People that work in a physical environment, or people that work on site. Another term for that is working on site. Why remote? People that work remotely, they don't work on site, but people that go to the offices work on site. So you can know, most of us have worked on site before. You know the competition. Everyone is trying to why do you sound funny? How do I sound funny, please? Do I sound funny? Someone says, why do I sound funny? Do I sound funny? Can't you guys hear me clearly? Let me know if you can hear me clearly or not. So as I was saying, part of it is, if you're working on site, you should know that most times people compete for who dresses the most. You use your last card, that's your last money, to go and buy a clothes, to make sure that you are feeling among, to make sure that you are so well dressed and all of that. But most times we forget that everyone has their own financial challenges. The other person could be, the breadwinner of the family, And imagine a breadwinner trying to compete with people that um people are even giving them. They have siblings that are even providing. They have spouses that give them more. Okay, imagine competing with them with your little salary, all in the name of dressing and becoming hot and all of that. I didn't say that they look tattered. You should look tattered. I can hear you clearly. So someone says I can hear you clearly. So why did someone say I sound funny? Or did the what I say amuse the person or something? So imagine that it saves you this kind of stress, fashion stress, commuting stress, transportation stress, fuel stress, and all of that. That's one of the advantages of working remotely or being a virtual assistant. Okay. Now, another advantage is potential for income. Okay, VAs can earn a competitive income based on skills and demand. Now, VAs, as a VA, if you know what you are doing, if you know what you are doing, you could be making a lot of money in a month. Okay, for instance, like I said, you can have like 3 jobs, 2 jobs, 4 jobs, so long as you can handle them. And you could imagine someone that has 3 jobs, you could imagine the person's income to someone that just has a job. Even if it is one job, most VAs earn $15 per hour depending on your technicality. $10 per hour, $5 per hour. The least I've seen is $5. $5. You know what $5 is if you're in Nigeria? Five every hour you're earning $5. Maybe in our next class I'm going to teach you people how to convert. I don't know, do we have anybody from outside Nigeria here so that we can also convert in that person's currency so that people will understand the kind of money that is behind this. People make as much as $1,005 a month, 2,500, 600, 300, and all of that. It all depends on the kind of job you do, the kind of client you're working with, and your experience level. But overall, as a virtual assistant, you don't need all the experience in this world to start. Just know the general tools to use. Like I said, your clients could be from different industries, but there are main tools that you need to know as a virtual assistant. Every virtual assistant knows. So we are going to be learning about all that general tool. Then when you now meet a client that is in a different niche, you can just learn that tool for that niche and all of that. I hope I'm making sense. So potential for income, VAs can have the opportunity to make a lot of money. Okay, different for me that have kids, my ability is limited for now, but I work from home. But for people that don't have children or don't have anything that is also taking their time, you can take on 3 jobs, 2 jobs, so long as you can meet up. Okay, so let's look at challenges. Number one, the cons here, because everything that has advantage also has disadvantages. So let's look at the challenges of being a virtual assistant. Number one is uncertain income. Now, income can be irregular, especially for new VAs. Now, you're a new VA, the jobs you could be getting could be contracts. It could be that you are getting a job that after 1 month, it is done, the contract, the project is done, and that is the end. So you're having an irregular income at this point. It could be that at the end of that contract, you made $500. Now you're not certain about the next money that you make. That's why it's advisable when you have a job, you keep making applications so that you can have one. Even if one stops, you're having 3 or 4 more jobs. That is mostly for new people. New people, they take time to find their, it doesn't really take much time, but they are still finding their feet. So at this point, your income could be regular. You can even as a new person, it can even be regular. You could get one client and that client needs you for a very long time, so you are sure of how much you'll be making every month. But most times the income is uncertain, especially when you are starting new. Okay, because you don't know how long you're going to be working with this client and all of that. But as time goes on, you have plenty clients, you know how much you'll be earning in a month and all of that. So number two is isolation. So lack of in-person interactions can lead to isolation. In as much as it is sweet to work from home, it has its own challenges. I'm telling you guys. For me now, I'm always at home. I hardly interact with people and all of that. So let's say I'm kind of isolated until my kids or my husband comes back from work and I'm talking with somebody. So it can be very, very boring. If you are the outgoing type, you might find it difficult at the beginning, but later on you will get used to it. So just bear in mind that you are being isolated. There's going to be isolation. Unlike when you are working in a physical environment that You could have your colleagues you can talk with, you could move to another person's desk and say hi, hello, and you guys will talk. But in this aspect, you are on your own. You are being isolated. It is you and your laptop, or you and your device working. That is it. Most times, even your colleague, like me, I have colleagues, we only communicate via, chatting, typing, maybe via email or WhatsApp. Or sometimes you can speak over the phone, but there's no physical interaction. You could work with a colleague, you could only be seeing the person's face. I worked with someone for like 2 years now. You only see the person's face. You don't know if this person is tall, you don't know if this person is short, you don't know if this person is fat, but you only recognize the face and the voice of the person. So that's one thing about being a virtual assistant or working remotely. Isolation. There's isolation. You are being isolated. So another thing is self-motivation. See, as you people are here, as people that are aspiring to take this channel to become a remote worker, especially mothers, you need to motivate yourself. Okay, it requires self-discipline and motivation to stay productive. Even me, as someone that has been in this thing for years, sometimes you just lose motivation, but you need to always keep coming up. This when it happens, I just take myself back up, because you are in this journey alone. Like, now, what do I mean by self-discipline? You need to be well disciplined. Well disciplined. Remember, you're working from home. The kitchen is close to you. Hey, good. Hey, you gotta fat like mumu. If you're not a Nigerian, I'm sorry. What I mean by fat like mumu is that you get bigger, like you get obese if you don't watch what you eat. The kitchen is very close. You're at home. The pot is there for you. You are free to eat junks the way you want. Unlike when you're in an office setting, you cannot easily carry, a pack of imagine your office is like a hall and people have different decks and all of that. You cannot just go and be packing Pringles and put on your deck, pack this one and put on your desk. There's supervisors here and there, but this one, you are home, nobody is supervising you. There is no monitoring. Nobody is saying, why are you wearing short knicker, why are you on your 90s? This one, you are free as a bird. But in this case, if you are not careful, you might eat and sleep away your time. You will be less productive. Now, you need to be very careful, because they are not seeing you physically. They don't know where you are working. It is your results that says you are working. Okay, they don't know. They just give you a task: do this, do this, do this, do this. They are not seeing you physically. They don't know if you are, when you started it or not. So your result says, I have been working. So you need to be careful. You need to be self-disciplined. You need to keep to time. If there's a meeting, you need to show up for that meeting. Okay, not a physical office that they will come and say everybody will have meeting by 12. By 11:30, the HR is there to remind. Although this one, they use calendar to also send reminders. So, but this one, there's nobody, no physical person telling you, come for the meeting, let's go to the meeting hall, let's go to the meeting hall. So you need to be self-disciplined. Like, you need to discipline yourself. It is this. I always tell people, working remotely is the same thing as working in an office. You are performing the same duties, you are doing the same thing, but the difference is that you are not there physically, you are in your home. So you need to overcome the temptation of your bed so you can be productive. Now, bear in mind that as a remote worker, there are meetings as well. You will have meetings as well. I hope you know, virtual meetings. So we're also going to be learning how to join these meetings, different tools that you can use for these meetings and all of that. So you need to motivate yourself. As a startup, you need to also motivate yourself in order to make applications and get the client. So let's look at another challenge. This is client acquisition. Finding and retaining clients can be challenging. I won't lie to you guys. It can be very challenging, but once you get a client, when I started, it took me about, should I say, I've been getting clients, on and off clients. So it took me about 5 months to get a steady client, or 6 months to get a steady client, 5 to 6 months to get a steady client. But for the meantime, I was doing other things and making little money and all of that, making some money. Some projects you do, the money will be big, some the money will be small. So I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Client acquisition, as a new person, it can be challenging, but your case may be different. I got my first job, I think the next month after learning and all of that. I got it really quick. But to land a very, very bigger job, it took me like 5 months. Okay. So I just want you to understand that it is possible you get a big job immediately on your first offer. Grace differs. Here comes grace. It differs. Your grace might be different. So, but we need to tell you the truth. I need to tell you the truth. Some people will sugarcoat it. Me, I'm not sugarcoating. You are not paying me a dime for this. I am doing this on my own. So why would I lie to you? Daddy said she go to bed. I'll go to bed. So do I don't have, sorry guys. Just know that I have children. So from time to time we are going to be interrupted. I'm playing motherhood and also trying to teach. So please bear with me, okay? So from time to time your income could differ. You, finding clients, steady clients could be a bit, stressful at the beginning, but once you found your foot, it is very easy. Like, because you've built your profile, you've built your portfolio, it is very, very simple at then. Okay, so let's look at another thing, is work-life balance. Now you need to learn how to blurring of boundaries between work and personal life. If you are working remotely and you're not careful, you may the time you are using to that you're supposed to be working, you could be cooking. So you need to strike a balance from this time to this time. Let's say if you have children, and they go to, and you plan yourself when they go to school. That is the period I will work. Once they are back from school, work over. So you select time that is flex, that suits you and all of that. So you need to strike a balance. Else the time that you're supposed to be working, you might be using to cook, or the time you're supposed to use to take care of your home or cook, you are using it to work. So you need to strike a balance. Okay, so let's look at further explanation. Self-motivation. As a virtual assistant, you are responsible for managing your own workload, setting and schedule, ensuring tasks are completed efficiently. Self-motivation is the internal drive that propels you to take initiative, stay engaged and deliver quality work even when external supervision or immediate rewards are lacking. So these are tips to stay motivated. You need to set clear goals for yourself, both short term and long term, to give your work purpose and direction. Motivation. Motivation helps you tackle tasks with enthusiasm, maintaining a positive attitude towards challenges. When you are excited about your goals and tasks, it becomes easier to stay committed and focused. Self-discipline. Virtual assistants often work independently, which means there might be fewer external checks on your work habits. Self-discipline is crucial to maintain structure, manage time effectively, and resist distractions that can hinder productivity. Sorry guys, I'm trying to read. My screen is a bit. I'm using my phone and I cannot turn the this thing. So let's look at self-discipline tips. Number one, you must create a structured daily routine, including designated work hours, breaks, and rest periods. Okay. Self-discipline helps you prioritize tasks and avoid procrastination, ensuring tasks are completed on time. It allows you to maintain consistent communication with clients, meet deadline, and uphold your professional reputation. Number three, staying productive. Being productive as a virtual assistant involves consistently delivering high quality work and effectively managing your tasks. Self-motivation and self-discipline work together to help you maintain the level of productivity necessary to succeed in this role. I hope you understand this explanation, this kind of further explanation. It's all about self-discipline. You need to be disciplined, you need to stay motivated, because unlike in a physical office, they can stay and organize a program, so people will come and visit you, people and talk to you guys, motivate you. But in this aspect, or your is your case, on your own, you're on your own. So you need to motivate yourself, be disciplined in order to stay productive. Okay, these are just things you can read up. If you need this, I'll send it to you. Let me just go straight, um and probably we'll do this later on. There's a place I want to talk about. Uncertain. Okay, I've explained this before. Okay, so let's look at essential skills for virtual assistants. As a virtual assistant, there are skills, like I told you guys, general skills that you need to have in order to tackle whatever client that comes your way. Now, bear in mind that it's a learning process. You may meet a client today, and the client's line of work requires you to use a certain type of tool that you have never used before. So you are going to calm down and learn that tools. But before then, there are tools, there are basic tools, there are basic skills that you have to have as a virtual assistant. Number one is time management and organizational skills. You need to know how to do this. You need to know how to manage time and have organizational skills. Now, these things, for you to do this, there are some tools that you need, some softwares. I need to understand that the basis of this training and everything is for you to learn some tools and skills that will enable you assist your client virtually. I hope I'm with you guys. Please, if you guys are flowing, if you know you're with me, give should I say we are with you. Just type I'm with you so that I will know that I am communicating. Now, another skill that you need to have as a virtual assistant, a must skill, is communication skills. When we talk about communication skills, it is written and verbal. Now, I know you may be thinking that because you are using softwares to communicate, or different tools to communicate with your clients, there's no need for making calls and all of that. Is a lie. I am with you. Okay, thank you, Omowumi. Yeah, I can see Omowumi. Thank you, Jerry. I can see you. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys can. I can see Ayo Duni. I can see you. Thank you guys. So written and verbal. Now, you need to understand that as a virtual assistant, your job could be the customer service line. Me now, in the company that I work with, I do verbal communication. We have our own designated phone number that we use for calls. We pick customers, we take customers' queries and help settle it, tenant queries and help settle it as well. So you could be in your own type of job. It could be that you are required to do verbal, to communicate verbally. So you have a good command of English, or depending on whatever language your client needs you to use or whatsoever. So you need to be able to communicate verbally and in a written form. Now, when we talk about written communication, it could be email. So that takes me to the email management and every other thing that we are going to be learning, how to write some emails, how to write emails properly. You need to know how to write emails properly, how to respond to emails, how to do things with in a written form and all of that. So you need to be good at all of this. Okay, now communication skills, it also entails using different video conference tools, project management tools in order to communicate within yourself. Communication can also be internal communication, not just external communication. Internal communication means that there are times that you guys will be having a meeting. You need to know how to use some tools that you can use to join the meetings. Sometimes you might have the duty to create this meeting. You need to know how to do that. Use different communication tools such as Zoom, Google Meet. We are going to learn how to use these tools as well. So you need to know how to communicate effectively. We're going to learn how to build an email, write an email, manage some emails and all of that as well. So there's a lot that we are learning in this class. So just stay tuned with me and you are going to learn it. Now, when we talk about time management and organizational skills, you could learn how to use different time. You should learn how to use different tools, organizational tools to manage, organize things, and all of that as well. Now, another skill that you need to have is problem solving and critical thinking abilities. Excuse me, guys. So you need to learn how to solve problems. See, let me tell you guys, there is a need for everything, for every product developed, there's a problem that it is solving. For me to be here today, I believe there's a problem I am solving. What problem am I solving? I am trying to bridge the gap between people, like I'm trying to like help people start like equip people with skills that they need, are required to work remotely, especially mothers, those that are not able to get an on-site jobs due to one thing or the other, due to children or whatsoever. And also to open your eyes to the world of technology, to know that things have gone digital. Before now, if you want to take a bike or you take a cab to somewhere, you need to go to their park or you stand on the main road and flag down one. But now, likes of Uber have made things life easier. You can stay in your home, you book the car and the ride comes to your house. Same thing also in terms of employment, okay? In terms of job, in terms of work, in terms of getting clients, in terms of being employed. They just took my light. You can do that from the comfort of your home. You can be in your home and you make applications and you get a job. So I'm also trying to help people, show people those that things that it is only when you carry your CV and submit to a physical office that you can get the job. I want you to know that you can do that from the comfort of your home as well. So you need to have problem solving and critical thinking abilities. Even when you're employed in that office, you need to help solve some problems. That is one of the reasons why you are employed. You need to have a problem solving ability, okay? So another thing is tech savviness and digital tools proficiency, multitasking and attention to details. I told you guys you need to be a tech savvy. You need to know how to use different softwares, different tools, because remember, what you do or your line of work depends on what your client does. Okay, so with this, you need to learn. You could be working for a client that is in the property industry, and you have learned how to use all the tools that those in the property industry uses, and now you get another client that is in e-commerce industry. You are also learning how to use tools that are used for e-commerce industry. Okay, so you need to be able to learn different skills, how to use different tools at different times. That is what being a tech savvy. A tech savvy is simply someone that is able to adapt to the use of different soft technology at different times without much hassle. Like now, if you open a software, you might not have used this software before, but being a tech savvy, you should know that there should be options, there should be icons representing different things. You know how to find your way around it as soon as possible. That is who a tech savvy is. Like, you know how to, you learn it as soon as possible. They don't need to break your head to put it inside. So these are some of the skills that you should have in order to succeed as a virtual assistant. So guys, we are going to come to the end of the intro class today. This is just an introduction, and we are coming to the end of it. Today is Friday. So by this video will be ready as soon as possible, and I'll send it to the group so that if you miss the class or if you joined it, you can watch this video. You need it. It is what you need. So let's see, tomorrow is Saturday. Like I told you guys, we are going to put a normal class, normal dates to this training, and that dates will be Tuesdays. We are going to be meeting Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Now tomorrow being Saturday, um I'll communicate in the WhatsApp group. If you are not in the WhatsApp group, please let me know so I can send you the link to join the WhatsApp group. So in the WhatsApp group, I don't know about tomorrow. I cannot guarantee tomorrow, but because it is weekend and we are just starting, we may still have a class tomorrow, but I'll communicate that it will be the same time, 8 p.m. if we're having a class. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. But our normal training days are Tuesdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. But because we are just starting this weekend and it's a long day, like we have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's a long break between today and the next day we are going to have a class. So certainly tomorrow I will let you guys know if we're having a class or not. But just look out for me 8 p.m. tomorrow or next tomorrow. But the days when Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays, I'm certainly going to be here. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you've learned something. Please, if you learned something, let me know in the WhatsApp group, on Facebook, wherever it is, okay? So that I will know that you have really learned something. And please do well to follow. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. If you've not hit like this channel, please hit on the notification button and share this channel to other people. Thank you guys so much. So have a blessed night today and a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Bye. Please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget, because a lot is going on here. You're going to be learning a whole lot. To this channel, you can look at our other videos and learn one or two things. Okay. Bye guys. Have a blessed night. Bye.